We live. Okay, most time correct. Okay, let's clap it up. Shalom to Israel. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Barakathum to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathan Bahashem, Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. And what we simply said was, to the brothers we say, may the Lord bless you in the name of Christ. And to the sisters we say, may the Lord watch over you in the name of Christ, right? We are the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command General Yohana. The ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, has been teaching the truth of the Bible since 1969. And that truth includes the fact that so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics or Latinos, so-called First Nation or Native Indian people are the true Israelites, the true Jews of the Bible. And we prove this with the Bible itself. This is the basis of the doctrine of the truth and what we call today, the modern days, the modern time, right? ISUPK, under command of General Yohana, is not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group, sect, religion. The ISUPK stands alone. It stands on its own merit. You understand? We stand on the Bible and every word therein, right? So the ISUPK is the home of the truth, meaning the origin of what they call the Hebrew Israelite doctrine originated in ISUPK in 1969. You understand what I'm saying? So we have been and always will be the home of the truth, that one body, you understand, that will rule the earth. So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, the true Israelite, the true Jews, the future rulers of the planet Earth, according to the Bible, the Word of God. Okay? So if you're not in the ISUPK, under command of General Yohana, you're simply not in the truth. You understand? I said there's only one body, and this is it. Okay? Okay, so I'm Officer of 1,000, Yanazar, here in beautiful Durham, North Carolina. You understand? I love Durham, North Carolina. I say it every week because I mean it. And the reason why I love Durham, North Carolina is because it's like a microcosm. Like, I don't care what city that you go to in America, right? You understand? I don't care how big the city is. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that's going on in those cities pertaining to our people is going on here in Durham, North Carolina. That's what I'm talking about. And the things that we see here in Durham, you'll see it anywhere else you go. You understand what I'm saying? The flavors might be a little bit different, but the same recipe, if you know what I mean. Okay, so with that being said, right, like I said, I'm Officer of 1,000 Yanazar, and this is the Wednesday night law class here in Durham, North Carolina, where we teach things pertaining to the law, right? But everything that the Most High says is law, meaning it's binding to life, right? And that's a good way of putting it, because what I got for you tonight is something that's binding to life. And we're going to relate something biological and spiritual, you understand, together today, in science and pertaining to the Bible, right? Okay, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself. The political scene in America is a disaster, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, every week I make my little political commentary, and I don't really have anything specific today, but I saw that Cash Patel, the head of the FBI, was caught in several lies when he testified before the Senate and the Congress the other day. They caught him in some lies. He's in trouble. Trump, they found out that Trump is making deals to make his family. He's over there in China making deals with China, but his family is going to be the primary benefactor. These are the kind of things, because the government is corrupt top to bottom.
That's right.
If the head is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. It's just that simple. Okay? So that's all I got to say about politics today. Of course, one more thing, this whole gerrymandering scene that we've been speaking on for the last week or so. I think personally, I think it's a blessing for our people. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the more our people become disillusioned with the system itself, then they're going to look for alternative means of survival. You understand what I'm saying? And that's when ISUPK comes in.
That's right.
Because we have the formula for our people to survive. When we were in Egypt, in the handkerchief head sellouts were selling us out to the Egyptians. You understand what I'm saying? What we did was then we turned to the Most High God and cried to him. And he delivered us. So we're in a similar situation here today. You understand? And so now in ISUPK, we don't care nothing about voting, none of that. You understand what I'm saying? We worrying about getting our people to come together, to gather us together so that we can unite and call upon our Lord, because that's what's going to get us out of this and nobody else. No politician, none of them is going to get us out of this. Because whether they mean to, because I've known a lot of politicians in my life, and some of them, they start out well-meaning, but they get caught up in the system, and then it becomes about dollars and cents. And that's what I'm going to say on that. Okay? And political survival. That's what it becomes. Whether we like it or not, that's the reality of the situation. It's been that way since I was a little boy. And probably before that. Okay? All right. So tonight, we're going to do something a little different, because usually we just go by scriptures, right? Which we're going to continue to do. You understand? We're going to always use scriptures because that's the basis of the truth. The truth comes from the scriptures, the word of God, Lord in Christ, right? But I'm going to show you something a little different today. The topic tonight and the title tonight is Jacob Esau. Different physically, spiritually, biologically, melanin. That's the title, right? And I'm not going to get ahead of myself tonight. I'm going to go through the scriptures first, and then I'm going to make my points. And then I have this book here. I've had this book since back in the 80s when I bought this book at Liberation Bookstore on 31st Street in Lenox Avenue in Harlem, New York. And I had this book because this brother put me onto this book, right? And in this book, there's a short paragraph or a short chapter on melanin. And we're going to get into that. And we're going to show you some scriptures that they don't say melanin, but melanin is a biological factor in these scriptures. And we're going to get it tonight, right? So first of all, let's get right into it, because we have a lot of scriptures. Let's get, give me Genesis chapter 4 and verse 3. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 3.
We go ahead, sir.
Come.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 3. In process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought out the fruit of the ground, an offering unto the Lord.
So what this is talking about is, okay, Cain and Abel are the sons and daughters of the first man who received the law, Adam, right? And so now Cain is making an offering to the Lord, right? Of fruits and vegetables, right? Read on.
Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
So both of them made an offering to the Lord, or what we might call a sacrifice, right? Unto the Lord. But one was lawful and one was unlawful.
Right.
So the offering that Abel did was according to the law, even the written law that was given Moses. And this is further proof that the law was in existence before it was given to Moses. We can prove that with many scriptures. It's not even a factor anymore. Okay, so these are two brothers, Cain and Abel, right?
Damn right.
So now, go down to skip to verse 6. We ain't got that much time to read the whole story. I'm going to break it down as best as I can. And I'm sure that you're going to understand what I'm talking about. I guarantee.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
So now, so he's upset because the Most High rejected his offering,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Come
Okay. So now, read on.
on. Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
So the Most High say, if you do what's right, what I told you to do, you'll be accepted just like your brothers was accepted, right? Read on.
And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the
So
door.
now, sin, meaning if you don't obey me, sin or disobedience or the breaking of God's laws lies at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning you can go into sin or you can go into obedience. That's the choice that he's given there, the same choice that we all have been given.
Right.
Right? Read on.
Come. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Understand? Meaning you will be ruling over sin because he's the first one who's going to sin after Adam and Eve under the law.
Come.
And I'm going to show you a reference to this in the book of John. We're going to get to that in a moment, right?
Come.
Okay, read on.
Come. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
So now he's jealous now.
Mm.
You understand? He's jealous. And so he kills his brother. This is the first murder under the law. This is the first recorded murder under the law right here. Right? Right?
Come.
That was verse 8.
Come.
Now skip to verse 10. We're going to skip a few verses, but we're not going to lose the story. Skip to verse 10.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
So the blood is not literally crying.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But now the blood is in the earth, right? And we have a law pertaining to blood being spilled. So if you spill blood, right, that land cannot be cleansed unless the person who spilled the blood is shed in the land. That's
right.
The law. You understand? Read on.
Come. Verse 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth.
So now the Most High cursed or put a punishment upon Cain. Remember, sin is waiting for him if he disobeyed, and he did. Read on.
Come. Which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Read on.
Come. Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
You understand me? So when you're working and planting your crops, it ain't going to work for you. It's going to be hard for you. You're going to have to work harder to make those crops grow. That's just the beginning of what this punishment is going to be for this brother, right?
Mm.
That was verse 12.
Come.
Skip to 14.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
So now Cain is kicked out from his home. So he's a fugitive, and he's going to be away from God. The Lord is not going to be with him. You understand? So he's a vagabond. He's kicked out of what was called the Garden of Eden, which is where what we call the Middle East today. Right? Read verse 15.
Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him shall kill him.
So now Cain is going to say that the burden, the mark that he put on is too much for him. But the mark is something visible, because he says, if anybody sees me, they're going to kill me. Right. So the mark is visible. You understand? The mark of Cain is a visible mark. Something when they see him, they can say, oh, that's Cain. He's the murderer. Right? That's what it's telling you, right? So now, let's go to the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. And this is Christ speaking, of course. And I'm going to make the correlation here so that you can understand what Christ is saying. You understand? Remember, it was Cain who committed the first murder under the law. You understand? The first murder. And I skipped the verse when he lied to the Most High. When the Most High said, where's your brother? He said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, that shit crazy.
So now let's see what Christ says here, and I'm going to show you the correlation.
Come on. The book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil.
So Christ tells the Israelites, the Pharisees, that ye are of your father, the devil. Now they're Israelites. So is their father literally a devil?
La, sir.
He's talking spiritually, meaning they're doing the bidding of the devils of that day, which were the Romans, right?
Come.
Okay, so read.
Come. And the lust of your father ye will do.
The lust of your father ye will do. So when Cain got angry, his lust was to kill his brother. Just like the Sadducees and the Pharisees' lust was to kill the Israelites that were against them, including Christ. Read on.
Come. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth.
So he was a murderer and a liar. That's what it means when you abode not in the truth.
Right.
You don't live in the truth. You're a liar. So he was a murderer and a liar from the beginning.
That's right.
So what he's talking about is Cain.
Right.
He's talking about Cain because Cain, you understand, was the first murderer and the first liar. And what we teach in ISUPK is that the spirit of Cain came on Esau.
Right.
You understand? And I'm going to get to it. We're going to show you what we're talking about as we move on. I just wanted you to see and for you to hear Christ's words pertaining to the devil, who is the father of these people, is not literally a devil. When Christ came on the scene, the Romans had been in power in Jerusalem for 65 years. And they ruled over us in Jerusalem. You understand? So they were the ruling class, and the Sadducees, or the rulers, the religious leaders of the time, were working for the Romans. That's why they hated Christ. You understand? That's another story for another day. We can easily prove that, right? So Christ says, "You are of your father, the devil." Read the whole thing all the way through.
Come. The book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth.
Understand? So the Romans, right, are the father and the murderers from the beginning. And the reason why Christ says that is because Christ knows that they have the spirit of Esau on them. And I'm going to prove what I'm talking about as we move forward, right?
Damn right.
So now, let's go to the book of Numbers.
Okay.
Chapter 12, and we're going to start at verse 1.
Okay.
Numbers. What I'm going to show you here is the correlation between evil and not having melanin. You understand? The book of Numbers, right? Chapter 12 and verse, we're going to start at verse 1.
Come. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married.
Understand? So Aaron, who's Moses' brother, and his sister Miriam is speaking against Moses because Moses married an Ethiopian woman. Right? Meaning, according to our law, we're not supposed to marry heathens.
Right.
So Moses married an heathen. But what they didn't understand or didn't want to understand was Moses was already married to her before he received the law.
That's right.
And so you can't divorce a woman, which is against the law. You can't break a law to keep a law. So Moses had to remain married to that heathen. Just like today, if a brother comes in here and he's married to a heathen, we're not going to say you got to get rid of that heathen.
Right.
Because it's unlawful. You understand what I'm saying? The only way that you can divorce your woman, or the main way that you can divorce your woman, is if she commits fornication, unlawful sex. Then you can divorce her. Other than that, you got to deal with it. You understand? And it ain't easy. So let's get back to it. Read verse 2.
Come. Book of Numbers, chapter 42, it's like 12, verse 2. And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses?
So they saying, no, man, you ain't the only authority here. The most high spoke to Moses and Aaron, and they were his assistants.
Right.
So they're saying like we should share in the power, Salakia. We should share in this power. You ain't the only one. We've been out here doing this work with you. Read on.
Come. Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Verse 3. Now the man Moses was very meek.
So now the Lord heard what they saying against Moses. And he says Moses was very meek. What he's saying, not that he was physically weak, he was tenderhearted. Moses was a very tenderhearted man, but at the same time, Moses was a warrior, because when he saw them Egyptians dealing with the Israelites, he killed that Egyptian.
That's right.
So it's not like he was a punk. He was just a very tender-hearted man. Read it. Read that part.
Come. Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which are upon the face of the earth.
He was very tender-hearted. He was kind.
Come.
That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about being a poop butt.
That's right.
You understand? There's a difference. You understand? You come in the Isupk County Commanding General Yohana, and you'll learn the difference.
Damn right.
Trust and believe. Right? So now, go down to verse 10.
Come. Book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
So the Most High got mad or angry at Miriam because they trying to take authority when the Most High gave Moses, I think it's Exodus 7:1, where he tells Moses that you're going to be like a god unto Pharaoh, meaning power or authority.
Come.
Right? So Miriam and Aaron is challenging Moses' authority. So the Most High turned Miriam white.
Right.
Meaning she had melanin, and now the melanin was taken from her.
Good night.
You understand? I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. Read on.
Come. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Verse 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
So he's saying, don't put this punishment on us. Understand, this is a terrible punishment. Don't put it on us, man. We sorry. You understand? But read on.
Come. Verse 12. Let her not be as one dead.
So now he says her melanin, the absence of the pigmentation in her, is like being dead. Because the name Esau means exactly that. One who is born half dead, meaning he doesn't have melanin.
Damn.
I'm going to show it to you. And then we're going to prove that this is a biological scientific fact in a sense. Just bear with me.
Come.
Read on.
Come. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed.
Meaning you don't have melanin in your flesh.
You
understand what I'm saying? But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have melanin.
Damn right.
You understand? I don't care what, you might be a different shade, but you got melanin. Trust and believe. You understand? So read, what verse was that?
Let's
Okay. Read on.
Come. Of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb.
You understand? So meaning when a person is born and they don't have no melanin, that person is considered like almost like dead.
Right.
That's a heavy statement, right? But it's not as bad as you think. Meaning it's not as far off as you might think.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. So let's get some more. Let's go to Exodus chapter 4 and read verses 6 and 7. Exodus chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. The water. And hey, shalom everybody in the live stream online. If you have any questions, you understand? If you have any questions, just put them in the chat, and we'll do our best. Okay, because that's what we do. Okay, and shalom for everybody for tuning in. I got something good for you here tonight. And we got to understand what we're dealing with in this world, right? Because when the Most High created man, right, he created man biologically.
Mm-hmm.
And each man, you understand what I'm saying, had ingredients. You understand that he passed on to his descendants, right?
Come on.
Okay? Just keep that in mind.
I got you.
You there? Read it.
Come on. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom.
So, quick synopsis of what's going on here. Moses says to the Most High, hey, listen, man, you know, how am I going to have the faith in you? How am I going to make the people believe that you're God and that you sent me? So the Most High did two things to him. Moses had a rod. He told him to throw the rod down. The rod became a stick or the staff. And then he told him this. Read.
Come on. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
You understand? So Moses, a melanated man, put his hand inside of his robe. And when he pulled it out, it was white because the melanin was removed.
Right.
I just keep saying that word so you can understand the correlation that I'm going to show you as we move on, right? Okay? So read on.
Come on, verse 7. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again his other flesh.
So it went back to his natural color. It was his natural color. He put it in the bosom. He pulled it out. It was white or leprous. Then he put it back in and it came back his other flesh.
That's right.
Meaning they were color. The color was restored, right? Now, this story that we're going to go into next was I love this story. We're not going to be able to read the whole story, but I'm going to give you the gist of it.
Come on.
So that you can understand something. And then we're going to get into the birth of Esau and Jacob, right? Give me 2 Kings chapter 5 and verse 25.
Come on.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 5 and verse 25. Did that brother come back? Oh, he never came back.
Okay. Book of 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 25. But he went in and stood before his master, and Elisha said unto him, whence comest thou, Gehazi?
So now let me give you the pretext of what's going on here. So Elisha, who was the top prophet of that day, who succeeded Elijah in the school, he sent this brother Gehazi to do an errand for him, right? Okay. And when he completed the errand, a man offered him a reward, and Elisha refused the reward. But Gehazi went behind his back and took the reward. So that's what's going on here. We don't got time to read the whole story. If you want to read the whole story, read the chapter, okay? Mm-hmm. But we're going to get to the pertinent part on what we're teaching tonight. Read on.
Come on. And he said, thy servant went no whither.
He said, I ain't go nowhere, master. I didn't go nowhere. That's what he told his master. Of course, he's lying. Read.
Come on, verse 26. And he said unto him, went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee?
So he's telling Gehazi that, yo, man, I know what you did. I know you ran behind the dude that offered me the goods, and you got the stuff. Read. He's going to tell you.
Come on. It is a time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servants.
So these are the things that he offered that the man, because what Elisha did was cured him of leprosy. And so he wanted to reward Elisha with gifts. And Elisha said, no, what comes from the Lord is better for me. That's what he told him.
Most High prayer.
And he refused the gifts. But the servant said, shit, I'm going to go get some of them goods. And he went back and got the goods. And he hid them in his house. And the Most High told Elisha, and Elisha knew what happened.
Come on,
And that's
come.
what he's telling them.
That's right.
You understand? Was it time for you to get money and goods when I'm doing something righteous?
Right.
My reward comes from the Most High. You understand? So read on.
Come on, verse 27. The leprosy thereof of Nazam shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow.
So he remember Naam, whatever his name was, Elisha cured him of leprosy. So now he says, since you did this, the leprosy that I cured him from now is going to cling unto you and your descendants. And read the last verse, the last line.
And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow.
So here he went out and he said it would cling to him and his seed forever, right? You understand? So what I'm showing you here with these last 5 verses, right? Or scriptures is that whenever there's an absence of melanin, it's a punishment.
That's right.
It's a evil thing. It's not a good thing.
Right.
You understand? That's what I just showed you. When Moses' hand turned white, it was white without evil. Then he put it back in, and it came back to its natural flesh. When Miriam got punished, she was turned white.
Right.
You understand? When Gehazi got punished, he was turned white. His melanin is gone. Now, just hold tight. It don't say melanin there. Where's melanin? Where you get melanin from? How could that be melanin? How you know it's melanin they talking about? Right? That's a natural question, right? So now, Gehazi, and now I read further, Gehazi continued to work for Elisha. Yeah, well, that kind of surprised me too. But he continued to work for Elisha, right? So now, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. I'm just going to throw this one in there. So I'm planting seeds till we get to the knockout blows. Okay, we planting seeds here. So let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 3. So every time a person lost their pigmentation, it was due to evil circumstances, or it was a punishment, right? According to the Bible, right? So now,
I got
Dr. Shaw, read it.
Khan's book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 3.
13, Baba
Oh,
Shaw.
it's like it. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. All things have, it's like it. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
So if the Most High made something crooked, and I want you to keep this in mind, this is a seed I'm planting. If the Most High made something crooked, you can't make it straight.
That's right.
Keep that in mind. This is a seed, but that's the word of God. If the Most High made something crooked, you can't make it straight. If he made it evil, you can't make it good.
Right.
That's why when Christ went to eat those figs off of that tree, and that tree didn't give him no figs, the only thing Christ destroyed was that tree. Because he said a good tree can't give off evil fruit, and an evil tree can't give off good fruit. That's science. That's a fact. That's science. Okay? So now let's go to Jacob and Esau, right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 25. We're going to start at verse 24. And if you don't know the story of Jacob and Esau, of course, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of what's going on here, and I'm going to break it down. Have no fear.
Come on. Go ahead, sir. Come on. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Of course, this is the story of Isaac and Rebekah. Rebekah, a righteous sister, she was barren, and Isaac had mad love for her. And he was begging God, please let her have a seed for me, let her have a child, right? So he entreated God or begged God, and then God gave her a child. right?
Okay.
But when she was pregnant, the children were fighting. Maybe we should go to verse 22. Salaki, I got to break this down.
Come on.
Verse 22.
Book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
So the children, the two babies are fighting in the womb. They're struggling in the womb. Keep that in mind. Read.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So she's saying, what the hell is going on here? Why is these children fighting? This is unheard of in my womb. Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
She went to inquire of the Lord, meaning she went to the prophets.
That's right.
To find out what the hell is this? What the hell is going on? These babies just fighting in my womb. What's going on? Read.
Verse 23. And the Most High said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations. Nations, according to the Most High, are not borders. Nations are bloodlines, nationalities.
That's right.
So he's telling her that 2 nationalities are in her womb. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So 2 manner or 2 different type of people are going to be separated from thy bowels. When they're born, they're going to be separated. Different. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And one of the nationalities or nations is going to be stronger than the other. Read on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the one that come out first, which will be the elder, is going to eventually serve the younger.
Damn right.
That's the word of God. You understand? That's the truth. So let's get it. Now read verse 24 again.
Come, Book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her room. Verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment.
So the first one, the firstborn, he's the elder. He came out red, or you can see his blood through his skin, and he was hairy. Now, why is that significant? I'm going to tell you exactly why this is significant. Because in the entire Bible, from Genesis, the Apocrypha, Revelation, the entire book, this is the only baby, not even Christ himself, that they give you a physical description of him at birth.
Right.
The only one. Why? We're going to explain to you why. Read it again from the top.
Come, Book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
So now, remember what they said before. When he's born like that without the melanin, it's as if he's half dead. That's what Esau means. The word Esau means. Yeah. They changed the name of his nation to Edom later on in the book of Genesis, which simply means red. You understand? Red neck. You understand what I'm saying? Red and hairy all over like a hairy garment, right? So now, the reason why this particular child, finish reading that. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, read verse 26.
Come. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
So now the second baby came out. They don't describe him.
Right.
Because he looks like everybody else. The first baby is different. He's hairy. Just imagine. Now, I ain't never seen no baby born hairy. Now, I got a couple of grandchildren that was born with a lot of hair on their head. I ain't never seen no baby with no hair on their body, ever. Anybody seen that?
Hell no.
Anybody? I've never seen that. I never seen a baby born. I got 10 children and 23 grandchildren. I ain't never seen no baby born with it covered with hair and red and hairy. Hell no. They be brown and smooth. You understand? So now, read on.
Come. And his name was called Jacob.
So Jacob is the younger one. Remember, the elder shall serve the younger, right? Come on.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
So Isaac was 60 years old. A score is 20 years. So 80 is 3 times 20, which is 60. He was 60 years old when these brothers were born, Esau and Jacob. Read on.
Come. Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
So now one, when you say that one was a cunning hunter, that means he's a killer. He likes to hunt. He's a woodsman. So remember, two manner of people. So Jacob, Esau is a cunning hunter. He's a killer. That's what a hunter is. They go out here today and hunt just to kill. So it's giving you characteristics of the two brothers. One is a hunter. He likes to go out and hunt and kill animals. And the other one is a dweller of tent, meaning he's civilized. He lives in cities and tents. You understand? That's what it's telling you. That's what it's talking about in verse 28. So remember, two manner of people, two nations are in thy womb. Two manner of people will be separated from thy bowels. So this is two nations. This is the division. Now, the question is, man, human beings, everything on this earth, all life on this earth is biological. Understand what I'm saying? So, if Esau and Jacob are different in their appearance, oh, I hit that thing again. What do I hit? Salami. I got it. Baby, there we go. So there has to be something biologically different from them, right? That makes sense, right? I ain't gonna hit y'all with it yet. So now we're gonna give two different, like right here, I got line up. I got Jacob on one side. Of course, if you didn't know, Jacob is in the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 28. He's going to be renamed Israel, or Yasha'Allah, the Prince of the Power. They're going to give you the meaning of the name. And then in Genesis 35 and 10 is going to tell you that he wasn't using the name, so God told him again for the second time, your name is not Jacob no more, but your name is Israel, or Yasha'Allah, the Prince of the Power, or the children of God. That's what the name literally means. Right. So let's go to Genesis 25 and 27. This is on Esau. This is on Jacob side, right? Genesis 25, verse 27. Huh? Okay. Yeah, read it again, 27 through 30.
Come. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. And it first came out 27. Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
You understand? So this is talking about the different living, the way that they lived.
Come.
Understand? Read on.
Come. Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
So Isaac, the father, loved the son that went out and killed the animal. He loved him. Read on.
Come. But Rebekah loved Jacob.
But Rebekah loved Jacob, right? Read on.
Come. Verse 29. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
So Jacob is in there cooking a pot of stew. He sawed pottage. That's what it means. He cooking a pot of stew, right?
Come.
So Esau went out hunting and he couldn't catch nothing. So he comes in, right? And he said, hey, man, I'm hungry, man. Let me give me some of that stew you got over there. Read.
Come. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
Same what?
Same red pottage.
Meaning it's not cooked yet. The meat is not cooked. It's still red.
Damn.
You understand? That's what it means. Some of that same red pottage. Give me some of that. You ain't got to cook it all the way.
Damn.
So now I'm going to ask you a question. I'm kind of a little aged up a little bit. And my entire life, I've seen all kind of steak commercials, advertisement. And what's the common denominator of every steak dinner that you've ever seen in your life.
Pink as hell, sir.
The middle is pink. It's raw. They never show you a steak cooked. Well done. Never. Go ahead and look. If you find it, show it to me, because I ain't never seen it.
Right.
It's always the rare or medium rare or rare or whatever the hell, which I never ate. I never ate a rare steak or a steak that wasn't cooked.
Most of that crap.
Even before I came into truth. And I say that because they love rare red meats, uncooked meats. They love it. You understand? Boy, I can tell you some stories, but I can't. So anyway, now let's go to Genesis 27 and verse 37.
Come on.
I'm going to show you the differences according to the scriptures, and then we're going to get into the melanin and what it means, right?
Come on.
Okay.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants.
So Isaac is telling Esau, yo, man, you're going to serve him. You're going to serve your younger brother, because that's what the Most High said.
That's right.
That's what he's telling him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
So he's saying, listen, man, I took care of him like I was supposed to. That's what corn and wine means. He gave him the best of everything that he had. You understand? But what can I give you now? Read.
Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father?
Hast thou but one blessing? Because Jacob has received the blessing. You understand, of being the ruler?
Mm-hmm.
We can't get into the whole story because we don't have time. But you can read these stories. They're in the Bible, the King James Version. That's what we use. You understand? Read on.
Bless me, even me also.
So he said, man, you gave him a blessing. I know you got more than one. Bless me, even me also, man. Give me a blessing, Dad. I'm your son.
Right.
Read.
Even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
He cried. Crocodile tears. Just like he does today.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Now, his father gives him a blessing. He says, thy blessing will be the fatness of the earth. Now, can anybody tell me what that means? Anybody? Online, I'm going to give you 1 minute. His blessing is the fatness of the earth. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what it means. Okay, for time's sake, we're going to the fatness of the earth are the resources.
That's right.
Of the earth. That's what the fatness of the earth is, the resources.
Right.
The things that the earth produces. That's the fatness of the earth. When an animal gets excess energy, he turns it into fat. Right? So that's the excess. Right? Read on. And of the dew of the heaven from above. And the dew of the heaven from above. Right? So the dew of the heaven is the rain. You understand? Meaning the crops and everything that the earth grows. That's going to be your blessing. That sounds pretty cool, right? That's a beautiful blessing. Wouldn't you agree, sis? That's a beautiful blessing. But check this out. Read. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. That's how he was going to get it. By the sword shalt thou live, meaning he's going to take it with the sword.
Right.
That's how he's going to get his blessing. And that's what he's done on the earth.
That's right.
You understand? But keep in mind, there's a biological component between the two that made one red and hairy and the other one smooth or normal at that time. Because at this time in the earth, the overwhelming vast majority, 99.9% of the people were melanated people,
Damn
black and brown.
Come on.
Esau is the birth of what we call today the so-called Caucasian or the white man, and we can prove it. Okay, so he has a biological factor involved, which I'm going to do my damnedest to break it down according to the scriptures, right? So now, you read 41?
La, sir.
Read 41.
Book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
So now, remember, Cain hated his brother for the blessing. Now Esau hates his brother, and he plots to kill his brother, just like Cain did. But the mother overhears the plot and alerts Jacob, and Jacob escapes. These two men, Jacob and Esau, Jacob has 12 sons and a daughter. And those 12 sons become the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American.
That's
and
right.
Esau had a bunch of sons too. And they became what we call today the colonizer, the Caucasian, you understand, the oppressor, the white man, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Christ called him a devil. You understand? So now, that's it on 41, right?
Come on.
So now we're going to get more into the blessing. Don't worry, yo. Just bear with me. I got it. We got it. Give me Genesis 28 and start at verse 12. We're going to read 4 verses, 12 through 15.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth.
So this is what they call Jacob's ladder. Everybody heard of Jacob's ladder. Even the Christians talk about it, but they don't know what the hell it is.
Right.
But we do. We know exactly what it is. And today, if you didn't know, you're going to know what it means. Read.
Come on. And the top of it reached to heaven.
So here's a ladder. And the ladder this is a vision. And the ladder is going from the earth up into heaven. Right? Read.
And behold, the angels of the Most High ascending and descending on it.
So there's these angels going up and down this ladder. What the hell is going on here in this dream, in this vision? What the hell is going on? Right? So these angels, Jacob's ladder. You understand? Read on.
Come on. Verse 13. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the power of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it. And
so, hold on. So this is a vision. This is not literal. This is a vision that the brother is seeing in his sleep. So he's seeing this ladder, and these angels are going up and down in heaven, and at the top of the ladder is the Most High. And let's break this down. What this is simply the angels going back and forth from heaven, reporting to God. That's what this is signifying.
Come on.
And there's a reason for this, and they're going to tell you as we read on. Read on.
Come on. The land wherein thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed.
So he's talking about the land that they're on right now, which used to be called the Garden of Eden. He's going to give it to you and your seed. This is part of the vision or the dream. Read on.
Come on. Verse 14. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west and to the east.
So now, see, this is something for you people out there that just think that Israelites are just black people and that the Hispanics are not Israelites. So he said they would spread abroad to the west. Doesn't it say that?
Come on.
You understand? So in the Bible, it tells us when the so-called Northern Kingdom, or what we call today Hispanics and Native Indians, came to America. It's in the Bible. It's not called America, and they're not called Puerto Ricans. They're not called Mexicans.
Right.
They're called the Northern Kingdom, 10 tribes or 9.5 tribes.
Come on.
They came to a land, according to the Bible, quote unquote, where no man dwelleth. That's why they're called the natives. That's why they're called Taino. You understand? Arawaks. all of these different tribes of people were the first inhabitants of the Western Hemisphere, according to the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the 12 tribes. Read on.
Come. Spread abroad to the west and to the east, and to the north and to the south. And in thee and thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
So meaning all of the blessings of the earth is going to come through the seed of Jacob.
Right.
So look at America. Look at Rome. Look at Persia. Look at Syria. Every nation. Look at Egypt. Every nation that became the power on the earth had the Israelites in captivity.
Right.
And even in our captivity, we are the blessings that caused those nations to become rich.
That's right.
It's the word of God. So now you want to say, hey, they're only Negroes. Some of you only Negro niggas. You understand? But if you take us all, he said we're going to be like the sand of the sea. If you take the Hispanics, who are scaring the hell out of white man.
That's right.
Because the Hispanic brothers is pumping them out, y'all. All you Negroes, you so-called blacks and so-called Negroes, you want birth control. But the Hispanic brothers, they pumping them out. And we read the statistics last week. That's why they're doing what they're doing to the Hispanic brothers, because they're outpacing them. Even us. Even blacks in our destruction, we're still outpacing them. They're at almost zero population growth. And in certain areas, particularly in Europe, they're at zero population growth, meaning more of them are dying than being born. You see, Captain Now brought out the birth rate last week, right? So now they're afraid because we're like the sand of the sea. So if you take just take the blacks and the West Indians, the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Judah, right? Okay. Then you add the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the Mexicans, the Venezuela, all of the natives, not the Spaniards, right? But the natives of the Western Hemisphere, all of the so-called Israelites that's in every nation on this earth, and you add them together, then the word of God has come true, that we would be numbered like the sand of the sea. Damn right. You understand? So now, all the families, when the Spaniards took Mexico, how did they get rich? They got rich off the labor of the Mexicans. Right. When they took rich Puerto Rico, how did they get rich? Subjugating the Taínos. Right. Cuba, the same thing. Mm-hmm. Venezuela, the same thing. North America, the same thing. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? The fatness of the earth shall thou live, and by the sword shall thou live, meaning that you're going to take it with the sword. And that's what they've done. Right. They've taken all of these lands by the sword, by force. They put Christianity on the earth by the sword. The only thing that Christ ever hurt in the whole Bible was a tree that didn't give him no food. He didn't kill a fly. You understand? Christianity is not in the Bible. Right. Christianity is a man-made religion that they created in 325 AD after persecuting the followers of Christ for 300 years. It's on the record. It's called the Council of Nicaea. Let's get back. Well, I'll be running out of time soon. I want to get it all in. Come on. Now, let's go to Malachi. The book of Malachi. We're going to start at chapter 1. Take your time to get there. I want everybody to get there and write these scriptures down and read them. That's right. Christianity says God loves everybody. God doesn't hate. No, not my Jesus. God loves everybody. Okay. Let's see if God loves everybody. Let's see.
Come on.
You understand?
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi.
So this is the prophet Malachi to Israel. Of course, every prophet in the Bible is an Israelite, every last one of them, from Moses to Christ. Easily proven, right?
Okay.
So Here, let me get there with you. I'm Slakia. I'm lost right now.
Don't sweat, sir.
I overturned the pages. Yeah. So this is Malachi, the prophet to Israel, because every Bible book is addressed to the Israelites, of course.
That's right.
Understand? So read.
Verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord.
So Israel, Malachi is saying to the Israelites what God told him. Yo, I love them Israelites. Tell the Israelites I love them. Right? Read.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
So now doesn't that sound like us, man?
Right.
God says he loves us. We said, man, how you loving us, man? How you love? Look how we living, man. How you love us? Wherein have thou loved us? Have thou loved us? That's some niggerism right there.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
Come. Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Wasn't Esau your brother? Wasn't y'all brothers at one time? Was being the operative word.
That's right.
Was. He was my brother.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't my brother now. You understand? Read.
Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob.
I love Jacob. Read.
Verse 3. And I hated Esau.
He did what?
I hated Esau.
He hated Esau. God damn. Damn, the Most High does hate.
That's right.
Damn. But hey, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. When you read why the Most High, and I'm going to try to give you some of it tonight, why the Most High hate Esau. You understand? It's going to make sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you already. I hated Esau. Read.
And laid his mountains and his heritage.
His what?
His mountains and his heritage.
Because he's the caveman. He comes from the mountains.
Right.
He admits that. The Caucasoid.
Mm-hmm.
The Caucasian mountains. You understand? Read.
Laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Meaning he lived and he was preyed upon by the animals. A dragon could be an alligator, a lizard. A dragon is just an animal.
Right.
It ain't a flying dragon that blows fire and all that. It ain't Godzilla. It's just animals. When you read the Hebrew, which we teach here in this school, you'll see they didn't have a name for so they call it a dragon. But the dragons were just animals.
That's right.
You understand? Read.
Verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished.
Damn, we poor. We living in the mountains. We poor. They weren't poor. They were poor. Read.
But we will return and build the desolate places.
We will return and rebuild the desolate places. And that's what the white man has done. Read.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Yeah, they're going to build, but I'm going to throw everything they build down.
Damn.
You understand? Read on.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Border of wickedness. Read.
And
now you're going to know that this is a nation of people. Read.
And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Most High is warned against them forever. But if we go back to Genesis, the fathers told them that they would have a time when they was going to rule. And this is that time. Yeah. And they rule is just about up, y'all. Because we're going to rule. But the thing about it is, all that evil that was done, we're not going to do.
That's right.
We're going to rule under a righteous king, which there's not a living soul that knows what that's like. There's not a person alive on this earth for the last 2,000 years that knew what it was like to be ruled by a righteous king. But we're going to get it because Christ is pure and righteous, man. The greatest man that ever lived, and he's our king. And he's going to rule this earth with an iron rod, meaning he ain't taking no short.
That's right.
You understand? All of this wickedness that we see out here, transgender, turning a little boy into a little girl, ain't going to be none of that.
That's right.
Ain't going to be no pimps and no drug dealers. No. So now, let's go to Genesis 28 and 21. I'm going to show you, we're going to get to the melanin, but I just want to show you contradictions or contrast, not contradictions, but contrast in the way these two brothers live, right? As quickly as I possibly can, right? So give me 28, Genesis 28 and 1.
Come.
Because we know the law here. This is the Wednesday night law class, and this is a law we're going to get into that we're going to learn something about today. Put it that way. Genesis 28 and 1. Baba Kasha.
21.
28 and 1.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Understand? He's telling him, even though they're living amongst these Canaanites, which we call today Africans, don't marry none of them.
That's right.
He's going to send this brother all the way back to his homeland to get a wife of his own people, because it's unlawful for Israelites to marry any other nation.
Right.
It's unlawful. You can't marry no Chinese. I don't care how much you like slanted eyes and flat butts. I don't care. You can't marry them. You can't marry no Caucasian. I don't care if you like blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't care. You can't marry the red dots, even though I don't know what the hell that is. But I got a good idea.
Good night.
You can't marry them. We got 12 tribes, every color, every texture of hair. The most wonderful, beautiful women that ever lived.
Damn right.
Belong to our nation. And you can marry any one of the 12 tribes. And it's lawful. Mm-hmm. You can't marry no heathen.
That's right.
Now, is that it on that?
That was verse 1.
Right. Read verse 2.
Come. Verse 2. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father.
You understand? Go back to the land of your people where we came from, because now we're living amongst these Canaanites or Africans, but go back to our land and get you a wife. Right. He traveled all the way back and got him a lawful rib, an Israelite. You understand? Mm-hmm. So now, he obeyed his father, right?
That's right.
That's the point, right? So go to verse 9.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 9. Then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife.
So now what you're going to read here is that Esau married heathens. He didn't marry an Israelite or people, his own people, because he's another nation now. He's not under the law.
Right.
He married the Ishmaelites, or what we call today Arabs.
Come.
And he married nations from other women of other nations, if you want to read the story. The point is, Jacob obeyed, Esau disobeyed. God loved Jacob, but he hates Esau.
Right.
Starting to get it? So now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. I'm going to break it all down to you before I read you about this melanin. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give myself a shameless plug. I'm doing a class on science in the Bible. Like, everybody thinks that everything is magical and God just made things magical. No. Most High is the greatest scientist that ever existed.
Right.
And I'm going to show you where it tells you that in the Bible. Okay? Just let's hang around. Come on.
Come. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power.
For thou art an holy people. Holy means simply set apart, separate, special.
That's right.
That's what holy means. I don't know what Christian thinks holy means, but you can look it up. We got the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. You can look it up. It doesn't mean some extraordinary righteous ability.
Right.
It just means set apart, separate. So thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, meaning you're separated from the other nations.
That's right.
Read.
The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be
please. For our new people, just use God, okay? For the
sir.
Okay.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So he said, I chose this people to be special unto me.
That's right.
Unto the Most High God. Special unto me. Why? Read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Meaning that these people are the best people on the earth. Mm-hmm. They're above all the other people. God chose them. And if you know anything about the law, you know that according to the law, when you made a sacrifice or you did anything, you did it with the best that you have. The Most High always rejected. If it wasn't the best, nah.
That's right.
He didn't want it. The sacrifice was that you were willing to give up something valuable to amend for your sins. That's all. Most High doesn't eat.
That's right.
Most of the stuff was burnt up and thrown away. And the rest of the Levites ate it.
Come on.
You understand? So anyway, we are a very special people on this earth. And the earth tries to tell us, because the oppressor, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
That's right.
You understand? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Give me that. Job 9:24. Meaning that the powers on the earth would be run by the wicked people. And it tells you a lot about them in this verse. I love this verse. The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. Come
on. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
You understand? The earth is given into the hand, meaning the rulership of the earth is in the hands of the wicked people.
That's right.
Can't we see this, man, on this earth today? Is it really hard to see it?
Come on.
Who's lying? Is the world lying or is the Most High lying? That's all you got to ask yourself.
Right.
Come on.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
He covers the faces of the judges. What does the Bible say? Israel shall judge the nations. Arise, ye, O God, and judge the earth.
That's right.
That's you. Meaning power. Your name, Yasha'Allah, the prince of the power. You have power with men and with God.
That's
and you have already won. That's Genesis chapter 35, verse 28.
No sign correct.
You look it up. That's what he says. Verbatim. I might have missed one word. You understand?
Come on.
So, we're the chosen people of God, right? It's us. We obeyed God up until a certain point. You understand? We're not going to get into that tonight. But now, let's go to Romans chapter 9 and verse 13 and 14. We're going to read. Israelites are the chosen people of God. God never changes anything.
That's right.
When he says it, that's it.
Okay.
And you can read that in Malachi, what is it, chapter 3 and verse 6. I am the Lord God. I changeth not.
Damn
Therefore,
right.
ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. That's verbatim. You can look it up.
I got it, sir. Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written.
As it is written means it's written in the Old Testament. That's what as it is written means. Read.
Jacob have I loved.
Jacob have I loved. Read on.
But Esau have I hated.
He says it again. I love Jacob, the 12 tribes, but I hate Esau, the oppressor. I'm going to tell you why he hated Esau. He tells us to love the good and hate evil.
That's right.
So wouldn't he do the same? The Most High is not going to tell us something that he doesn't do. He's not going to tell us to love the good and hate the evil, and he's going to hate the evil and love the good. I mean, Salakia.
Hate the good.
Hate the good and love the evil.
Right.
Right? So now, we're going to get into it. Verse 14.
Come on. Verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Is God unrighteous for hating one and loving the other? Is God unrighteous? Ooh-wee. I mean, I've heard people ask that question. I'm sure you have too.
Good night.
Why would he hate one and love the other? He created both of them. Sound like old bitch.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me when I hear it. I'm Salakia. Yeah, God doesn't hate, but he's going to burn up the whole earth.
Right.
But he don't hate nobody. Make it sense, man. Make sense, man. Use your sense. We got sense, man. God chose us. We're the most capable people. Every music form created in the Western Hemisphere was created by Israelites.
That's right.
Or none. I don't care country, West, I don't care what music form you think of in the Western Hemisphere, in the Caribbean, in South America, in North America. It was created by Israelites. Open heart surgery, air conditioning. You understand? Jacob is not like them, for he's the former of all things.
Damn right.
Meaning we invent shit. You understand?
Most High praise.
So now, that was 14, right?
Nah, sir. There's a little more.
Read it all the way through, 14 all the way through again.
Come on, Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid.
Meaning hell no.
Damn right.
Read on.
Come on, verse 15. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
And the Most High said, I choose who I'm going to have mercy on. Right. But now, we're going to get to the gist of it, right? And I could bypass a few scriptures, but I'm going to go. Let's go to Romans 9 and 17. We're going to start at verse 17, and this is going to help us understand.
Come on,
right?
Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up.
So he's saying he raised up Pharaoh at the time when they had the Israelites in captivity. He raised Pharaoh up. He allowed the Israelites and Joseph to come in there and save Egypt from the famine and for them to become the power of the earth.
Right.
He let Egypt raise up to be the mightiest nation of its time. Read.
Come, that I might show my power in thee.
So that I can destroy you and show my power in thee. Read.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
So now imagine America's the power of its time. America is destroyed by the Most High God. Everybody say that the Lord of Israel, that God, what's his name? Oh, the Yahweh, man, he destroyed that kingdom.
Damn right.
So when Egypt was destroyed, being the power on the earth that it was, everybody knew that the God of Israel was God. That's what he's saying. Read it again.
Come. Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
This is what's going to happen again.
Most High Christ.
Because we're in Egypt again, by way of ship. You understand? So now, read on.
Come, verse 18. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will be hardened.
Read on.
Come, verse 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault?
Why? This is the question that Christians ask. And anybody might ask this question. Why do he find fault in one and the other? Right? Why is God finding fault in Esau? Read.
For who hath resisted his will?
Who can resist the will of God? If you created them, then it's your will. So why do you find fault in what you created?
Right.
That's the question that they would ask God, right? If they was foolish enough. But read.
Come, verse 20. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God?
So God says, who are you to ask me?
Damn right.
Now, who are you to ask God why I do what I do? But the Most High, this reminds me when the Most High told Moses his name.
Come.
Like, who are you to ask me my name? Then he told him his name. And they hid it from the earth, even though it's right there in the Bible, right in front of your face. All you got to do is just read it in Hebrew and you'll see. Because the Bible was revealed in the Hebrew language, in case you didn't know.
Come.
Okay, so come on.
Come. Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
So you take something. Well, he's going to get into it with the pottery, right? That's the next verse. I believe. You take something and you make whatever you want out of it. Just read the next verse, and then I'll give you a simple analogy.
Come. Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay?
Have not the potter power. So you take some clay, and you're a potter. Remember, they used to make pottery out of clay. And so with that clay, you can make whatever you want.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Most High is the potter. We're the clay. But I'm going to show you something here. In the next verse. Read on.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor.
From the same clay, from the same substance, he made one to honor and one to dishonor. So now, I'm going to show you. Let me see if I got one up here. Okay, I don't have one, but I'm going to make an analogy. This is one cup that he made. This cup is for drinking wine, right? And this cup is for drinking coffee or tea. It's hot, and it has a handle on it. You understand? One doesn't have a handle, and the other one does. They both made out of the same substance, but one has something that the other one don't.
That's right.
That's the point. From the same lump, he made one vessel for honor. That's the one with the handle. And the other one for dishonor. That's what he says. Read it again. I didn't make it up. It's been in the Bible for thousands of years.
That's right. Book of Romans chapter 9, verse 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
You understand? What was that, 23?
That was 21.
Okay, so
22, sir.
Hold on, let me make sure that I got that one in the book.
Come on.
Yes, read on.
Come on. Verse 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath?
I want you to understand this very carefully.
Yeah, I'm right.
What if, read it again.
Come on. What if God, willing to show his wrath?
And what if God was willing to show his anger and his power? Read.
And to make his power known.
And to make his power known.
Endured with much long suffering.
Endured with much long suffering. You think that the Most High is enjoying this earth? You think the Most High wants to see his sons and daughters drug addicts and destroyed and mentally ill and poor?
Hell no.
That's long suffering.
That's right.
He's been suffering this for you for a long time. Mm-hmm. For me, for us.
That's right.
What if God was willing to long suffering? Read.
The vessels of wrath fitted to destruction.
The ones that he made to be destroyed.
Mm.
What if he was willing to suffer a long time? But once he suffered, he's going to show his power and his wrath. That's what it says.
Yeah, right.
You understand? So let's get a little bit more. Read.
Come on. Verse 23. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
Understand? He prepared us unto glory from the gate. We're the chosen one.
That's right.
We took the hard route, man, to get here. We wanted to love all the nations. We loved everybody. And look what it got us, man. But he told us to be separate, set apart from them. But we ain't want to do that. We saw them chink eyes over there, and hey, man, I guess.
Good night.
Yo, we saw that long, straight, blonde hair. Woo-wee. Them blue eyes. Ooh, Lord, that both sad.
Oh, no.
You understand? I'm just making it light. But this is what we did. And the Most High doesn't want that. And we had to, he told us in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and other places, because there's also punishments that he proclaimed in Jeremiah and other places. And we've suffered every last one of them. Every punishment. Drug addiction, mental illness, broken families, problems between the males and the females, everything, economic poverty while the other nations come into our communities and get up over us. Everything that we suffering today is in there. Right. If you can find one thing that black people is suffering that the Most High didn't proclaim against them, I'll shut the hell up. I ain't shutting up because you're never going to be able to do it.
Right.
And that's for sure. You understand? So now, that was what, 22? That was 23. Okay, so now we're going to get to the point. Let's go back to verse Romans 9 and 9. We're going to start at 9.
Come on. Book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 9. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son.
So now this is going back to Abraham and Sarah. And Sarah's going to have a son. Remember, Sarah was barren also. And she was like 90 years old before she conceived.
Come on.
You understand? Read.
Come on. Verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one.
So now, Rebekah, of course, is the wife of Isaac. She's the mother of Esau and Jacob.
Come on.
Read.
Even by our father Isaac.
Our father Isaac. Isaac is the father of Jacob, thus one of the fathers of Israel.
Come on.
Read.
Come on. Verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil.
So the children, Esau and Jacob, even before they were born, they didn't do any good or any evil. Read.
That the purpose of God according to election might stand.
You understand that the purpose of God according to election, according to his choice.
Right.
He chose one to be the vessel of honor, which is the Israelites, and one to be the vessel of dishonor. Why? So that you can know that his word is true and that he's going to show you his power and that everything that he said is going to come to pass.
Yes.
And the earth is never, ever going to be at war again.
Most High Christ.
That's why. Because he is Yahweh. He is the Most High.
That's right.
And nobody can alter his word. Nobody. You understand? Nobody can annul it. That's in the Jeremiah, 14. Come on, let's get it. Y'all Christians think, God changed his mind. God loves everybody. Let's get it. Did he change his mind? Come on, let's go to Jeremiah 14. No, Salakia. I think it's Isaiah 14. I'm sorry. No. Isaiah, go to Isaiah 14. I think it's verse 27. Hold on. I think it's either I get Isaiah and Jeremiah mixed up sometimes. So let's go to Isaiah 14. Yeah, that's it. Start at verse 24. We're going to get back to it. Don't worry, I'm getting to the melanin, y'all. Just bear with me. Come on. 24. Then we're going to go to 27. Go to 24.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 24. The Lord of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass.
Whatever I thought and I want to do it, it's going to happen.
Damn right.
Right? Read.
And as I have proposed, so shall it.
I have purpose.
Like it. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand.
Whatever my purpose is that I proclaim is going to stand.
Damn right.
Now, go to 27.
Come on. Verse 27. For the Lord of hosts have purposed, and who shall disannul it?
That's the Christian pass to that. Right. If the Most High, and I already did the class on the purpose of the Most High, you understand? But if the Most High purposed something, who's going to change it?
Right.
Disannul means change or alter or cancel. Who's going to cancel it? Who? Esau, the white man? Shit. Really? For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand, meaning his work, is stretched out. And who's going to turn it back? Who? That's what I want to know.
Right.
Tell me who? Trump? Yeah? Let's wait and see. It ain't far off, y'all. 99.9% of the prophecies of the Bible have been fulfilled already.
Most High Christ.
Your slavery and your punishment is fulfilled. It's every punishment that he put upon us, we've suffered it or are suffering it now.
Come on.
That's the sign of the end. Now,
yeah,
you understand? So now, let's go. I would go. How much time we got? I'm going to need this whole half an hour to break this down. I had about 3 more scriptures, but I just wanted you to understand that the Most High purposed this. He chose Jacob, and he hated Esau. That's it. Sorry. You don't like it? Take it up with the Most High. I kind of like it because the Most High is great and wonderful. beyond any word that I could say.
Yeah, right.
And his love for us is beyond measures. He says in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 4, chapter 30 and verse 4, he said, if you was in the outermost parts of outer space, he'd still come and get you. That's what he said. He said that he's given his, in Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 7, he says he's given his dearly beloved of his soul into the hands of her enemy. Now, if that ain't love, I don't know nothing about love. That sounds like love to me. Yeah, I need that love because we were destroyed. But not no more. We waking up. You understand? So now, we're going to get into it. Now, this is a book right here. You understand? It's called Roots of Soul. Yeah, Baba Shah. And it's written by white people. But, some of you Israelites, you don't, if it ain't written by white people, you don't believe it. So I've had this book for a long time. You can see it's kind of turning yellow. And this book was brought to my attention by this brother when I was a blackety black. I was one of them blackety blacks up in Harlem thinking we had knowledge. Yeah, I know all them niggas up there. But anyway, what this book is about is there's a biological component on the ability of so-called black, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians in their expression. It's a reason why we got soul, y'all. There's a biological factor involved in it that was taken from Esau. So when I showed you the two cups, one had a handle and one didn't, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
One had melanin and the other one, it was removed from him. And it was so significant that he's the only child in the whole Bible that is described physically, biologically in the Bible. So I'm going to read. I would normally let the brother read, but I'm going to read this for a particular reason, right? It says this: the action of the brain's two hemispheres is not only physiological factor influencing black expressive behavior, there's also a possible another factor. So it's not the information that's shared by the side of the brain, both sides of the brain, that, fosters black behavior or how we behave, right? Check this out. Melanin, a dark pigmented chemical substance produced in human cells, found mostly abundantly in the skin, hair, eyes, and substantia nigra, or that's Latin for the black substance. This is a substance, which we're going to read, that is created in a little gland in the middle of your brain. Remember that. That's important. It says, the substantia nigra, or the black substance, serve as a catalytic agent in igniting starter impulses which facilitate the rapid and exact movement of specific muscle groups. That's why we're the greatest athletes. That's why we think faster, run faster. That's what it's saying. Like, it's extra energy. It's like Red Bull in your genes, so to speak. Now, I'm talking, this is heavy, y'all. It is found also in proportionate relations to the presence in the skin, meaning it's in your skin, but sometimes you might not be able to see it, but it's there. So if you have a light-skinned sister or a light-skinned brother, and you might not see the melanin, but it's there. You understand? You might not see it. Now, it is found in eternal organs, meaning it's in your muscles, it's in your kidneys, and everywhere. That's why, and I'm going to read a statement in here that's going to blow your mind, I guarantee you. Test it. Okay. It says, in the eternal organs and the muscles. Now, it looms as a factor in black expressive behavior. Why? the production of melanin has energy-related features that are involved in the regulation of some aspects of human behavior. That's why you got soul, nigga. So-called Hispanic man. That's why. Because you have an ingredient that the Caucasian, it was taken from him. I must prove it further. You understand? Now, that is, where am I? Okay. Okay, here we go. Why? The production of melanin has energy-related features that are involved in the regulation of some aspects of human behavior, particularly those falling under biochemical control. Meaning, okay, when people without melanin get sunburned, that's biological. But people with melanin, because we have melanin, it protects us. You understand? Now, that is much of our behavior, the quality of it, the intensity, the duration. You understand? Now, you can go 100 ways with that one. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Frequency and etc. Meaning that we're able to do more frequently. You understand? Now, when the Most High says you're the greatest people on the earth, this is spiritual and biological because there's a spiritual component as well. We're going to bring out. You understand? It is regulated by secretions from various glands and organs of the body. That's why you'll see that when they steal organs, they love to steal black people's organs. That's why. That's why when all them people down there and all them organs was missing at that prison down in Louisiana. And this book was written. Let me see when this book was written. I think it was written back in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. And meaning that they have this information. And you ain't heard nothing yet. I'm trying to look for the printing of this one. You understand? But I don't want to waste too much time. I could look it up real quick. I can't find it. Usually right there in front of my face. It gives you all of the doctors. 1980. This was printed in 1980. Oh. Okay? Nope. 19. It says 19. It was the first printing 1975, 76, 77, and 1980. So they've had this information all this time, and they're using this information against us. Right. Because they know that we're the chosen and they want to destroy us. You understand what I'm saying? But without the knowledge of the Most High and the law, we're nothing. Right. That's the thing. We have the ingredients, but we don't have the knowledge. We don't have the faith. We don't have the truth. That's the difference. I don't care how black y'all, you ain't shit without the Most High. You ain't nothing. And when I say that, I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Now, okay. Melanin is one of the body secretions and appears to noticeably determine the quality of black expressive behavior or soul. You understand? Remember, I don't know, I'm old enough to remember when black music and salsa music was called soul music. Like salsa was the soul music of Hispanic music. They changed it from salsa to, I don't know what the hell they changed it to, but it used to be called salsa, the sauce or the soul. You understand? Because we got flavor. You understand? All the music, reggae. If you remember the original reggae, it was righteous music. That's right. Now they came out with dance hall. We had soul music, then they changed it to R&B. Okay. A fuller acquaintance with its nature, the nature of melanin, is necessary for a fuller appreciation of its importance to the point of advanced, right? Meaning melanin is involved with us becoming better. Melanin, a term derived from the Greek word. Oh, man, what did I do? Okay, I got it. Hey, man, let me get this thing out of the way. Messing up. What do I hit? Yeah, let me get this thing out of the way, man. I keep hitting. It's a lot. Melanin is a term derived from the Greek word melanos, meaning black. That is why melanin was described as a chemical glob of black substance in the July 2nd, 1977 issue of Science News. Once they got this information, it was at the top of their news, of their scientific news. The article insisted that melanin is some of the toughest material there is. Apparently, its chemical composition, the articles noted, is impervious to destruction, even in boiling acid, prompting a reference to it in the article as weird stuff. They couldn't destroy it, meaning they can destroy your flesh, but the melanin that's in your flesh can't be destroyed. Hey. That's what they say. I ain't saying it. Now, seemingly, it is unalterable by time, meaning time doesn't change it. Like the melanin that's in life itself, because everything has melanin. Vegetation, they're going to tell you that too. Has melanin. The melanin never disappears. You understand? That vegetation or that flesh disappears, but that melanin doesn't. I'm going to show you. It says, seemingly, it is unalterable by time. Melanin has been found in archaeological findings aged by as many as 150 million years. So when they find the dinosaur got melanin. Now, check this out. I had to look this word up. Clearly, there is a paucity of melanin digesting enzyme existing in nature, meaning there's nothing in nature that can digest it. Paucity means few. You understand? What I'm trying to say is when the Most High made man, he made the melanated man the best man. You understand? That's all I'm trying to show you. And that man is biological. So what makes man up is biological. Your flesh. But the operation of your flesh is based on the chemical composition that God put in you. And he made you the best. But you wanted to be like the other nations. Now, Africans, East Indians, a lot of nations got melanin. Everybody got melanin but Esau. So it's not melanin alone. Don't think for a minute just because you got melanin that you something special. That's not what I'm trying to show you. What I'm trying to show you is that the fact that you have melanin separates you from Esau biologically. And you're more apt to become the vessel of mercy. You understand? The vessel, the good vessel, the righteous one. You have a better chance of doing it where Esau has no chance. I'm going to show you why. Most chemical substances of the body are eroded by the actions of enzymes in the environment, which feed upon substances melanin appears to endlessly endure. So when they say black don't crack, that's what they talk about. That's the best way of me putting it to you. Melanin is why black don't crack. Melanin is why black people, you understand, under normal circumstances, because I've seen some black people. But under normal circumstances, melanated people stay younger longer looking. And your organs are better for the melanin that's in the organs as well, because it helps the biological process of processing energy and destroying unwanted enzymes. And we just read it. I ain't making this up. You can buy this book yourself if you think Yanazar is lying. So now, this is all to the glory of the Most High.
That's right.
Because he made it. He made melanin. He created everything. He didn't give Esau none. I'm sorry. That's just funny to me. Salaki. Now, we're going to go on. Now we're going to get some more heavy stuff. Melanin appears to endlessly endure. If it appears that melanin is quite fundamental to the stuff that constitute the very essence of biological life. Meaning life on the earth can't exist without melanin. So when they say Esau was born half dead, duh, no melanin. I'm reading this. This is page 31 in this book, Roots of Soul. Right now they're going to get some biological credentials of these people that's writing this book, and they some bad white boys. Now, by action enzyme, okay, it appears that melanin is quite fundamental to the stuff that constitute the very essence of biological life. So biological life, that's why everything has color. You understand? Because it's variations of enzymes related to the melanin that give things color. That's what he's saying. That's what it means, the very essence of biological life. Now, it is, according to Dr. Leon Edelstein, Associate Professor of Dermatology and Pathology at the University of California Medical School at Davis, and past chairman of the same department at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, meaning he's at the top of his game. He's the best, right? He says that melanin in abundance, as in blacks, produces a superior human being, both mentally and physically. In a July 1980 issue of Sepia magazine, Edelstein was quoted as saying, remember that name, Edelstein. Those are the small hats. That's Esau. He says, this is a quote, in the 1980 issue of Sepia magazine. That was a big magazine back in the day, Science. I don't know if it still exists anymore. Edelstein was quoted as saying that melanin was at the very essence of life, meaning it's part of that thing that which allows life to exist. Without melanin, you can't exist. Life can't exist, according to them now. That's according to them. So now, and I know that it has some scientific value because they've tested it, right? So you have, I'm getting a little scientific with you, but let's just say you have a atom, right? And then at the core of this atom is melanin, so that the cipher of the atom is right, is correct. But if you don't have the melanin, it's become what is called a radical, which means the cipher of the core doesn't go in a cipher, it's a radical, it's all out of whack. That's what he's talking about. Melanin keeps everything in nature in balance. That's what he's saying. And you understand? And without melanin, that's why they more apt to catch cancer, sunburn, because they don't have that cipher. It's erratic, so things can penetrate it. That's what you're talking about. Now, a lot of these words, I had to look up. And I did. And I know what I'm talking about. And I guarantee you, if you read this and you look this up, you're going to see what I'm saying is true. And what I'm trying to show you is that the Most High God did this, not me.
Damn right.
He made biological. You understand? He created life, man. He created everything. And he gave us the good ingredients, man. Do you know that 98.7 and the salinity of a human being is the same salinity of the water in the earth? You have the same amount of water in you as the earth has. I mean, of salt in your body as the ocean has. Look it up. Because you're made from the stuff on the earth. Right? I'm just what I'm trying to show you that even though these words are here in this Bible and it's the truth, there's scientific, biological information that contributes to what this is. Because everybody is within this creation. Everything. You understand? There's one more thing. Maybe two. Okay. Now this is when I'm getting it's going to get into the spiritual. Like melanin is also like the spiritual connection. So when we was in the black community, they should tell us that the what was that gland? What's that gland there? The white man's pineal gland was calcified, and this blocked them from spirituality. The pineal glands. Something like that. I know she's close. Yeah, because I used to be into all that kind of stuff. So they used to say that the white man's gland was calcified, meaning that it would block his spirituality to a degree. Well, this is what they're going to tell you in another kind of way. You understand? Not having melanin. That's why if you go down a road, go down a country road in North Carolina, and you might pass 5 churches. And let's say 10 churches. 5 of them is black or Hispanic, and 5 of them is white. It's gonna be a different spirit in there.
Right.
That's what it's saying. I remember when I was in the Bronx in New York, right? And there was a little Spanish church on the corner, Iglesia, something like that. I didn't know what the hell it was. But man, they used to be in there jamming. I'm just like, I used to say, damn, they jamming in there just like us. I'll never forget it. Anyway, I'm going to take y'all on another very. It's crazy. Now, it was crazy, man. Now, there appears to be a definite biological advantages to having dark skin. Protection against vitamin D, protection against intoxications, or hypervitaminosis. I gotta look that one up again, y'all. Or the ability to absorb vitamins and nutrients into our bodies. That's why we need less salt. Black people, we can use less salt than other nations and get nutrients from it. That's just one example. Enhanced resistance to infections. Remember, they used to say that we didn't feel pain, and they didn't want to give us certain medicine because they felt we didn't need it, which was a lie. Yeah. Now, here we go. Improved visual acuity and bright light, meaning in the sunlight, we can see better than them. That's what it means. Now, they messed us all up. We all. They gave us drugs and chemicals and shit. And we all messed up now. But we're going to get all of that back because it's still in us. That's why they're trying to destroy our babies, too. You understand? They know this. Protection against the carcinogenic effect of ultraviolet lights, meaning you're protected against cancer where they're not. Radiation or some noted advantages. It goes deep. We ain't got time to get into all of it because we're running out of time right now. So I'm going to read one more, and then we're going to just go in. We're going to sum it all up. The presence of melanin in the eye, particularly in the brown, causing it to be brown in color, gives blacks a probable advantage particularly in bright light, as melanin acts as an optical filter, protecting the iris, which is in the middle of your pupil, from solar radiation. Then there's a quote down here: why black people run faster? That's all we need to read. There's a lot more. It goes into a spiritual component. We're going to run out of time. You understand? So melanin, right, is like a doorway to spirituality as well. But without knowledge and without the law, it don't mean nothing.
That's right.
Look at the condition of our people. They got melanin. What good is it doing them if they don't know the law, statutes, and commandments? You understand? To have access something, you have to make the access work. There's food in the refrigerator. It don't mean nothing if you can't go and get that food. That's the point. The point is that Jacob and Esau are different biologically, physically, and in appearance and spiritual. Isaac told them to marry their own women. He couldn't. He didn't. Esau got mad because Jacob got the blessing and he plotted on killing him. We're going to end it with this. Give me Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35. We got to know the nature of things. And it's not something that's outside of the Bible, because the Most High made everything. He created everything. And he made it righteous. He made it right. He didn't make a mistake. He didn't give Esau something that Jacob didn't have. He took something from Esau that Jacob already had.
Damn right.
That's the point. Read that.
Start at 1, sir?
Yeah, start at 1.
Come on. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 1.
Let the sister get there too.
Oh.
Yeah, 35 and 1.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
Mount Seir is the mountain range that Esau lived in at the beginning. Mount Seir. He's going to tell you. Read.
Verse 3. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Read. This is talking about the destruction of the inhabitants of Mount Seir, which is called the Edomites or Esau today. Read.
Verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
That's what's coming for you.
Damn right.
But now let's get a little bit more particular, right? Now, read.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
A perpetual hatred is a never-ending hatred.
Mm-hmm.
We fought in the womb.
That's right.
The 2 babies was fighting in the womb. He vowed to kill us. And he has a perpetual, meaning a never-ending hatred of us. Read.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
The blood of who?
The children of Israel.
The blood of who?
The children of Israel.
Read.
By the force of the sword.
By the sword shalt thou live.
Mm-hmm.
By the sword shall, and this meaning weaponry. He's the greatest. Nobody can make weapons better than the white man.
That's right.
Christ, of course. Because they got some weapons that's going to make the white man look like he got a slingshot and some marbles.
Ooh-wee.
So now, read on.
And shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in their time of their calamity.
What is the time of their calamity? Right now.
That's right.
We're in our calamity right now. That's why they love to kill us, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every chance a white police officer has to kill a black or Hispanic, he takes it.
Right.
Because he knows he can get away with it. If they don't have no video,
Mm-hmm.
only time they catch a cop and convict him is if they have video.
Right.
If it ain't no video, they get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And I'm gonna tell you this, and y'all gonna hear me say this a lot. When I was growing up, I used to think like this. I used to say, well, they hate black people first, the most, and Hispanics second. That's bullshit.
That's right.
Let's look around. They hate them Hispanic brothers just as much as they hate
Damn right.
You better believe it. Just look around. Who's in them cages on the border? Who's being deported?
Right.
Who has the fastest growing population in the United States?
That's right.
So-called Hispanics. That's why. Read on.
Come, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Our iniquity, our evil that we've done is now. It's coming to an end now.
That's right.
You understand? It's coming to an end now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Come. Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, thus.
Therefore, as I live. This is the Most High saying this.
That's right.
So this is surer than sunshine.
Right.
Read.
Saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
I'm going to prepare thee unto blood. Why? Let's read why.
And blood shall pursue thee.
Everywhere you go, blood is going to be shed. Because by the sword shall thy live. Read.
Since thou hast not hated blood.
Since you haven't hated blood, you haven't hated shedding blood. Everywhere you've gone on the earth, you've conquered every nation on the earth, including God's chosen.
Right.
You've slaughtered every nation on the earth with the sword. Name your nation that they haven't slaughtered with the sword. You can't. I'll be waiting. Read on.
Even blood shall pursue thee.
Even since you haven't hated blood, blood's going to pursue you everywhere you go. If you go to Iran, if you go to Iraq,
right.
If you go to Palestine, if you go to what's the little Gaza, if you go to Afghanistan, if you go to Vietnam, if you go to Japan, if you go to China, if you go to Honduras,
right.
If you go to Ecuador, if you go to Puerto Rico, if you go to Venezuela,
that's right.
Blood is going to be shed. Blood shall pursue thee, meaning wherever you go, there's going to be bloodshed. Come on.
Come. Verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth.
You understand? Let's just end it at verse 9. Read up to verse 9.
Come. Verse 8. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in thy rivers shall they fall. Shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Verse 9. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
They don't believe. White people don't believe in God. They believe in money, power, respect.
Right.
They don't believe in God. You know how you know a person believes in the Most High? It's very simple. They obey him. That's the only way. For this is the love. Let's get it. 1 John 3 and 5. People that say they love God, they lying.
Right.
And this is what God says. This is how I know you love me. Right? This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. Understand? And this is in the New Testament. But the Christians, I never heard a Christian say this in my life.
Come.
Never heard a Christian read this verse, ever. But in the ISUPK, we read it every damn day.
Most High Christ.
Everybody in the ISUPK, from a trooper to Commanding General Yohana, from Commanding General Yohana to a trooper, know this verse.
That's right.
And the sisters.
Most High Christ.
Too. Read it.
Come. It's the book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
That's how God know you love him. That's how you love God. You keep it. The commandments are not grievous. It's not hard.
That's right.
Like sometimes when we come into this truth and we start, it's kind of hard at the beginning because we're doing all kind of evil shit in the world, especially me. And so certain things was hard, but like eating pork and shrimp, crab, and lobster, that stuff was easy for me. I didn't want that shit.
Most High Christ.
You understand? But certain things I was doing, I had to, like, gradual. But once you start obeying God, it's not hard at all.
That's right.
It's like waking up and breathing air. I'm dead ass. Like, for me today, as far as I know, I ain't break no laws.
Most High, right?
It's not grievous. I mean, it's not hard on your life. It's not difficult to obey God once you get into the habit of doing it. It makes our life better. We live longer because we eat the right foods. Why we number one in every disease category is because we eating the shit that God told us not to eat. That's why. Hey, listen, man. You want to get high? Come in, come to the truth and read these scriptures and learn who you are. You'll never need another drug as long as you live.
Most High, correct.
You'll need no get high. Now, we take a little sip every now and then because that's lawful.
Most High,
and it was made to make us merry according to the Bible, not to abuse it.
Right.
Because being drunk is a sin. You don't never need another drug as long as you live to feel good. If you're sick and you need a medicine, that's different. But to get high, just to feel good and to self-medicate, nah, we don't need that shit.
That's right.
This is my medication. This is my get high right here. And you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm not kidding at all. Like all kind of get high drinkings, drugs and smoke is unlawful.
That's right.
It's unlawful. It's unlawful to put any kind of pollutants in our body at all. And all of those things are pollutants. Medicine is only to heal you.
That's right.
If you don't need a healing, you don't need it. If you need some marijuana oil to relieve your pain and it's prescribed to you, it's lawful.
Right.
But if you smoke it, you understand? It's unlawful. When I was coming up, right, the weed they got out now here is 1,000 times stronger than the weed that they had when I was a kid.
Right.
I ain't lying. Because the medicinal part of marijuana has been grafted out and made lesser. But the THC contents, which is the part that gets you high, they've improved it. They've enhanced it. You understand? But marijuana was created for a medicine. It's a medicine. The coca leaf was a medicine. Understand what I'm saying? If they worked up in the mountains and they needed energy, they would put a leaf in their mouth. But the devil went in there and found the chemical makeup of the active ingredients and made cocaine. That's what they did. But these plants were made for medicine, for medicinal purposes. And we've abused it. They used to call it drug abuse. Now they call it, because it's affecting white people, they call it drug misuse.
Oh, man.
It's so nice and kind. They sure love their people. And we love ours.
That's right.
So there's a difference, you understand, between us and Esau, between Jacob and Esau, you understand? And all of this is for us to learn to love ourselves, and that we're special and we're somebody in this earth. They tell us all the time we're nobody. We're niggers and spicks and savages. And we're lazy, even though we built their whole empire for them.
Right.
You understand? From Canada to Argentina. We built all of those nations. You know that Argentina kicked all the black people out of Argentina? Like, Argentina is the whitest nation in the Western Hemisphere. Y'all didn't know that, did you? When slavery and these things came to an end, Argentina said, shit, man, we ain't taking care of these niggas. They got to go. You look it up. Argentina is the whitest nation in the Western Hemisphere. They kicked all the niggas out. Most of them. Look it up. I looked it up. It's in South America. They had slaves there, though. But when slavery was over, we don't have no more need for you. And go to Brazil or something damn way. You understand? Because he has a perpetual hatred against us.
Right.
he hates us. We hate what the Most High hates. The Most High hates him. Not my fault. Most High created him. Can we get it? Made to be destroyed, like natural brute beasts made to be destroyed. I think it's in Thessalonians. Where's it at? They were made to be destroyed. And you know what? If we had obeyed the Most High God under King David, they were servants. Remember, after King David, after Solomon lost the kingdom, they rebelled against Solomon, against the house of Judah, right? They would have been servants because that's what the prophecy said. But since we wanted to disobey God, God put them over us to teach you a lesson.
I got it.
And that lesson, you're never going to forget it. You got it?
Okay. It's the book of 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 12. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed.
That's what they were made for. You want to love them. I know. It seems so humane. It seems so righteous. Sounds glorious. Not reality. Does a lion love a lamb?
Hell no.
For lunch.
For sure.
You understand? Does a alligator love a chicken for dinner? You understand? There's no such thing as equality.
Right.
You're either going to be a servant or a ruler. The Most High made us to be the rulers.
Most High Christ.
Because we're more apt by nature to be righteous. And they're more apt by nature to be wicked. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Mike Shaw. I thank you once again for listening in. We didn't see any questions. Understand? And I'm going to tell you, Yanazan, this is my life. I go home, I study, I read. So when I come before you in this class, I got something for you. Trust and believe. Because Captain Narthok trained me that way. Captain Narthok said some things to me that blew my mind when I came to this school. And I never forget them. You understand what I'm saying? He told me that Christians don't read the Bible. I said, what? I found out it was true. He said to me, what does Christianity, I'm going to try to talk like him a little bit. I hope you don't mind. Yanaza, what does Christianity stop you from doing? And I'm sitting up there thinking, and I couldn't think of nothing. And he said, that's right. It doesn't stop you from doing anything. You can be a pimp and sit in the front pew. You could be a homosexual and lead the choir.
Right.
But not in here. You understand? And with that, I say, shalom.
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation will be the closing of the Feast of First Fruits, going down May 31st. Give what you can't believe to find out more information or details. Remind Nakim and Aquatin to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wishes to be a trooper in the school, then you start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I imagine, which means to stand, men of Israel. Saw turn and face the teacher. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute unto our teacher. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Kalamukan, Yajamata, hands down, start turn and face the sisters. Sisters, Imajum, which means to stand. It's like a sister, you just put your hands together and clasp them together like this. We're going to say a prayer to you. It's like men of Israel, start turn and face the sisters, men of Israel. We give one encouraging salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Ma'am Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. So you repeat it back to us. You say Yahweh, Shamar, Alathah. You got it. Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And what you said was, may the Lord and watch over you in the name of Christ. On sign Christ. Yadmatah, hands down, class dismissed.
See, white people are born into negativity.
I love the class. I needed to hear all of it.